I have finished my Prey playthrough and I would like to give my final thoughts on the ending. Now, this video will obviously contain a fair amount of spoilers, so if you don't want to have it spoiled for you, if you didn't watch my playthrough, I would recommend you do not listen to this video and you go off and play the game if you intend to do so. I've actually made a review for the game and it does not contain any spoilers. I will leave a link down below. Also, for the sake of transparency, I will point out that I received a review copy of this game, so I did not actually buy it, I got it for free. Take that into account when you listen to any of my opinions. So, having got that out of the way, if you've watched my review, you know that I love this game. However, I didn't talk about the ending because there was no way to do so without adding spoilers, and honestly, I don't think it changes my review in the slightest. I did find the ending a little odd, but it in no way stops me from recommending this game. If you've played the game or you've watched my playthrough, you know that the game ends superficially with a decision that you make. And it feels well, actually that's probably not true. There are probably a few other endings. You can escape, you can blow the station up, but I went to a place where I could neutralize the Typhon threat, and I had two choices: listen to January the robot or Alex. And I got this feeling, this very Deus Ex Mass Effect ending feeling, where you just pick one of them and, you know, that gets you the ending. It had that feeling. I made my choice and then I got a cutscene. Well, it wasn't even a cutscene really, it was like a fadeaway shot and Alex saying something, and I remember thinking, what? Because it didn't have any real substance to it. It just felt like they pulled the plug. I was like, what? So you're not going to talk about what I did and what I didn't do? And just the whole thing felt really kind of rushed. And then, of course, you wait a while, the credits roll by, and then you get the real ending, and you have a sort of sense of relief. But I found myself wondering, well, why did they do that? And my initial cynical side said they made the original ending, playtested it, and everyone went, "This is crap! You can't end this like that. People will kill us." And they go, "Oh, all right then." And then they added another ending at the end of the credits, and it's like, ha 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 ha, tricked you. This is the real ending, ha ha, honest, and played that. And that was my first cynical thought. However, almost immediately my brain started throwing problems at me with that particular theory. The first and most obvious was, well, why didn't they just cut the original ending and replace it with a new one seamlessly? It wouldn't have been that hard to do, and honestly it would have felt right, so why not do that? But then the more I thought about it, the more I realised the final ending, the real ending, is the one they've always been working towards. If you think about the game, it is a series of moral choices. You do a lot of things where you can either do something good or you can do something bad. You can do something that shows that you have some sense of humanity or are a vicious killer. You've got loads of times, loads of opportunities to show what you are made of. And of course, that is what the entire ending is about. So they would have had to have gone back and added all of these things into the game to make that ending work. And indeed, the fact that none of these things appeared in the first ending, the fake ending, you know, shows that they obviously for that ending didn't require any of that stuff. So why would they have added it? And then I went even further back and thought to myself, well, the entire game starts with a questionnaire about morality. If you think about the way you start, you're answering questions about what you would do under certain circumstances, and they're trying to measure your aggression, your sense of morality, all of these things. That start sets the scene for the entire game. The entire game is a psychological test, and at the end you get a report card, you get a score. So that ending seems to be consistent with everything in the game. Which leads me to believe that is the ending they always envisaged, always wanted to add. So why the hell did they not add it straight at the end, where it would have worked? You make your decision and then the whole thing gets unplugged and suddenly you realise where you are and the whole... It would have worked. So why didn't they? And then I started going back and forth between the cynical side of me and the more hopeful side of me. And it was like, oh, well, okay, no, maybe they intended the good ending, but then ran out of time, did the crap ending, playtested it, realised that really they couldn't do it, went back to the good ending, or found time to add the good ending, and so on. But in the end, the answer I came up with, the one that makes the most sense, in my opinion, is they actually thought this ending was good. They thought trolling us would be funny. Like they just thought, so like, let's give them a Mass Effect 3 ending, let them flip out for 5 minutes during the credits, and then give them the real one. Like, psych! Honestly, right now, that is my best guess, because it's the theory that fits all the facts, and I can see that. I don't think it was a good idea. Honestly, I get it. You want to have a bit of a surprise. You want to give us some feeling of like, oh God, are you kidding? And then switch it to the good ending, and then the good ending feels even better than it would have felt if you'd have given it straight away. It's like, you know, let a man go hungry a while, then give him a sandwich, and he'll think it's the best sandwich ever. I mean, maybe that was the answer, but honestly, I think they just thought this would be cool. Give us one ending, make us a bit worried, and then give us the real ending and make us feel relief. And I just think that was not the right way to go. Not because it ruined the game, because it didn't, but because I think the final ending, the ending where you get the scorecard, so to speak, would have worked immediately after making the decision. There would have been a kind of shock value. A massive initial shock value. You make your choice, you think you're doing something, and then the whole thing, because simulation shutting down, and all these things happen around you, and suddenly you realise where you are, you're strapped in a chair, and the crashing realisation comes in. I think that would have worked better. As I said, I don't think it actually makes the game any worse, but I did find it a little odd. Overall, brilliant game, just so much to recommend. Had a lot of fun playing it, thought it was a great story, and as I said in my review, it's just the sort of game I would love to see more of. I love this kind of game, and it got a big thumbs up from me, and it still does, in spite of the minor confusion regarding the ending.